All right, so welcome back here. And in the last video, we were doing a bunch of styling with our landing page. And now we're going to get into the meat of this project here. We're going to start building out our back end and starting with our model here, our database model. So we're going to be working first in our schema.prisma, and we're going to work on our profile here. And before we get started here, though, I would just suggest you come in and install, if you're using VS Code or something, the Prisma extension just to help with formatting stuff. It'll make life a little bit easier for you. If you're not using VS Code, don't worry about it. Just yeah, try to code along. All right, so we're back here, and we're gonna start here by creating our profile. So we're gonna come in here, and we will create our model. All right, so we're gonna come in here and we're gonna go model and profile and open up some brackets. And then this is where you're gonna add all your different fields that you wanna be on your model for your profile. So we're gonna have an ID for that, and that's gonna be an int. And there's a few things we wanna add on top of this. So we're gonna have the ID flag here, and then we're gonna have a default option here, and that's gonna say auto increment. The other thing with this Prisma plugin here is it gives you a lot of autocomplete, which is nice. So we're going to auto increment. So if we were not going to add one, it's just going to increment by 1 each time we create a new profile. So that's for that. And yeah, I'll go through and create the rest of them, and then we'll come back. Okay, so these are our different fields that we're gonna have on our profile. So we're gonna have a bio, a location where you're at, a website if you want. Your avatar is gonna be your kind of profile picture, and then we're gonna attach it to our user. So each profile is gonna be attached to a user. And that's what these fields are. So we need a unique user ID here, and then the user, which is gonna be connected through this relation field that we attach there. All right, so that's good. Now we also have to add this onto here, but it does it for us automatically, you can see. Now the only thing is, though, we don't want an array of profiles. We just want a single one that it's attached to. So we're just gonna come on and put a question mark. And the question marks are gonna mean that it is not necessarily required. So it's an optional parameter there. And that's what all these are here, because we don't necessarily want to force the person to have any of these or even a profile in general. Okay, so that's good. Now let's come and let's actually create one more thing here, and that's going to be a tweet here. So we're going to do a model for the actual tweets that we want to create. All right, so this is our tweet model. Again, the ID with the default is going to auto increment. We have created at, so we know when it's created, and then we're just going to have a content, and this is going to be required for a string, and then we're going to attach also to the user, and we're going to call that author. So that is basically all we need to do for that. Now, go ahead and save this. All right, so we're gonna open up our thing here, and we want to migrate this over to our Postgres database. So we wanna have all these fields. So let's go like this. So we're gonna go npx, what is it? npx Prisma migrate, and we're gonna go save. So you first have to save it, and then you wanna go -- experimental like this. And then they want you to name your migration. So we'll just say profile for now. And then that looks like it worked. It saved this. And then we want to go up again, and we actually want to push this up. And you do that by going up. So npx Prisma migrate up experimental. And it looks like that pushed that just fine. So that is great. And now we want to come over and we actually want to create our mutations in order to create a profile and update a profile. So that's what we're going to do next. So let's come over here, and the first thing we want to do is come into this types folder here, and we want to create a few new types. So we have a new one here for profile. So let's go ahead and say profile.ts, just like that. And we can come over, we got this post one. Let's just copy over what we got for that. Okay, and we'll just use that as a kind of template here. So paste that in here, and we'll change this to profile. Okay, that's great. Now all these are going to be off here, and that is just fine because we haven't created them yet. So what we're going to want to do is have all these different things. So let's just create this right here and copy that over. So let's just paste this down below here and just change this as we go. So we got bio, we got location, nice, and then we have website, okay, and we have also avatar. Okay, so those are all good. All right, so we're getting a few errors here, so we want to kind of work through this here. So let's actually come back to our schema here, and I believe I forgot to add before the tweets. So we have an array of tweets is going to belong to the user, so make sure you add that. So that's good, and then you can migrate that up again. But we're still gonna have a few issues. So let's get rid of, we got rid of our posts here instead of, and replace that with our tweet. So let's go ahead and do that for everything else. So let's go into our users here, and this is gonna be tweets. We'll just replace that. Go ahead and save that. Indexed here, we don't need this, but we can replace that is gonna be tweets. Okay, and we don't have that file yet, so let's go ahead and create that. So let's go new file, and that is gonna be capital tweet.ts. So we wanna go ahead and create that. So let's again just come over here and we'll copy this over here. So copy that over, come into here, paste that. All right, so we're gonna come in here, get rid of that. That says tweet there, and then again here, come in here and say tweet as well. Okay, and then we have some different models here. So we're gonna have an ID also. We're gonna change this to content. That's gonna be that. And then we're just gonna have an author, and that's gonna be all. We don't need this tweets obviously for here. And then let's come back into user, and we've got one thing here, and that's going to be t.model.profile, and we'll call that. Go ahead and save that. And this is actually not tweets, that's tweet. Go ahead and save that. And so we're still getting some errors here, and remember we want to get rid of post everywhere here. So let's come in anywhere we have post here. So we got rid of it here, got rid of it everywhere else. Let's come into our mutation actually, and we can just comment these out for now. We might come back and use those kind of as a template later. Create draft, we can get rid of this as well. Okay, and I think that should be it. So go ahead and save that. And then we haven't really played with this much yet, but we're gonna have in this permissions file in this index.ts, we're gonna have some different rules here. So we got rid of posts, so we don't actually need this right now. So we can get rid of is post owner here. We can just comment all that out for now. I don't know if we'll be using it later or not. And then these two, we'll just, actually these three, we'll just comment them out at the moment. This one too. And this one actually too. Okay. So go ahead and save that. All right, then in our query here, we want to get rid of post here too. So let's get rid of this. We don't need that. Filter post, we don't need any of this. Get rid of this. And what else here? Post here. Where's that end? Right here. So get rid of all of this. Go ahead and save that. Users, that's all fine. In our tweets.js too, we spelled this wrong, so come and fix that. Author, not author. All right, so that's good. That seems to have resolved. I had to delete my node modules and stuff. There seemed to be some issue with the model here, but we're good now. If you're running into an issue, I'd suggest deleting your node modules in your package.json log file and doing a fresh install there. And after that gets resolved, let's go ahead and show you what we did for our mutation. So we came in and I created a create profile. This is going to be the mutation to create a profile here. And how this works is you're going to pass in the type, so the model, which is a profile for us, and then the different arguments that you want for that. So that's for us a bio, a location, and an avatar on a website. So the same things that we had in our schema file. Okay, and then we're also going to check to make sure the user is authenticated, which is this check here. And this get users ID is coming from our utils folder here, file there, and that's the function that is going to check if we're authorized or not. Okay, so that's good. And then actually let me paste in here also our update file here. So this is our create profile here, and we're also going to want to have an update function here. So let's go here, and this is going to be our update mutation. And these are the different, so we have a string arg, and these are Nexus, I believe, not Prisma itself, but the other package we're using. So we actually got to bring that in. So you can see we got int arg there, and we'll auto import that. And that's for integers basically, and string arg is obviously for strings. So same kind of deal here, basically the exact same thing as create profile, except for we're going to call the update function. So this is how we call it, prisma.profile.update, and for our create, we're going prisma.profile.create, and that is how that'll work. All right, so that's our create profile and our update profile, and kind of a little bit of our back end there. In the next one, we'll probably build out the front end and start actually seeing our profile in our React app. And yeah, thanks for watching.